I'm quite literally about to change the way you strike the golf ball, or the way you think about striking the golf ball. There's two things in golf: flying wedges. Flying wedges are not when you get your wedge and you throw it. But think about your left arm. This really will change the way you think about golf. This is going to add structure to your strike. Structure to your strike. So we want good strike, obviously. Boom. Think about it. Left arm is a lever, club shaft is a lever. Simple. There we go. If I stand down the line here, and the line from my left arm down to the club, down the shaft, and back up from the sweet spot to my shoulder, and I've filled that in with material, that would be like a flying wedge, like the sail on a boat. So that there is a sail on a boat. If I lift this up, the angle or the sail decreases in size, increases in size. That's one flying wedge. Now I need to keep that in place all the way. So when I get to the top of my swing here, this is all still in line. I don't want it out of line, out of line. I keep that sail, I keep that action there the same regardless of where my body is. Yeah? Cool. That's flying wedge. That's a left arm flying wedge. We also have a right arm flying wedge, or trail arm. And both of these wedges, when they're put together, they're always at 90 degrees to each other. Trail arm flying wedge, here we go. Taking a dress position, there. If I draw a line up the shaft from the sweet spot, out to my right elbow, my trail elbow, and then back down to the sweet spot, that there is a flying wedge. So this is filled in, right arm flying wedge, and then we've got, of course, left arm flying wedge, which would just be a straight line on top when you look at it from face on. And these two wedges, so this wedge here, as we know, would be 90 degrees to the left arm flying wedge. Left arm flying wedge, right hand on, and they're 90 degrees to each other. Left arm flying wedge, right arm flying wedge, 90 degrees to each other for the whole swing, for the entire swing through impact, all the way to the top of your swing, all the way down, and then post impact it's going to release. But trying to keep that at 90 degrees to each other is the game changer. Is the game changer. Take my address position. This is how I address the ball, okay? I put my right hand on where it's going to be on the club. Not away up here, not down there, but where it's going to be on the club, on the grip. There. Club behind. So now I've got my trail flying wedge on there. It's in place. I put my left hand on, so now my left arm flying wedge is in place. Brilliant. And now it's all about keeping those at 90 degrees to each other all the way up, at 90 degrees to each other. And as I come back down, the whole assembly comes down as one. So when I keep those together, when I keep this assembly together, what brings it back down or moves it back down is the turn of the body there. So the arms there are now moving because I'm turning my body. Rotation. Nothing independently is happening there. I've gone up to the top, through body turn, the right arm and left arm flying wedge are in place, and I turn to bring it back down. Turn. So again, that goes back to less moving parts. 𝐬𝐿𝐫 golf swing is amazing for this, because with 𝐬𝐿𝐫 golf swing you're aiming left, so it's a much shorter one plane action, so it's easier to keep everything there. There's no independent movement of the flying wedges or the arms. It's there, left arm flying wedge in place, right arm flying wedge in place, and just turn myself back. They're always at 90 degrees to each other. So if I'm aiming for that middle bunker there, with 𝐬𝐿𝐫 golf swing, I'll leave a link in the description below. My stance is obviously open, but I'm there, turn. All in one place all the time. Right arm, this here is at 90 degrees to this left arm flying wedge all the time. Imagine if the right arm got high. So if that wasn't it, it got high, what's going to happen? Yeah? What if I get stuck underneath? That has to be at 90 degrees. Has to be at 90 degrees. Wonderful little draw. That's the 𝐬𝐿𝐫 gets the draw. Reduces your slice, obviously. But it's on plane. It's on plane. It's there. There. Higher one, that was class. But what's the trick to keeping them at 90 degrees to each other? What's the trick in getting that and maintaining that? Well, for me it's pretty simple. All I think about is my trail forearms on plane. And I can address, I said before, I come in with one hand, get that in position. Now when I'm getting that in position there, I'm placing my club on its correct lie angle. I'm not up here and I'm not way down there. So I get my club sitting correctly, then I work myself round the club. So I'm there. Now my forearm is on plane. If I was to take my right forearm off now and come from my pocket down here, down the plane line there. It's quite technical, down the plane line there, good. And then my left shoulder becomes a little bit more dominant, so I get my left arm flying wedge in place. There. Now I'm at 90 degrees. Because this is level down there. So there, down the plane, left arm up. Here we go, so I'm now at 90 degrees and turn it all back through in one go. It's getting that consistency, and you can see, or you can imagine, I'm sure you can, how consistent that would be. Because you're doing the same thing every time. And there's less moving parts because it's just body turn now. There. Hopefully my stance a little bit more like 𝐬𝐿𝐫𝐿𝐫𝐿. There, just turn it all back through there. Turn it all back through. It's exactly what we're trying to do, exactly what we're talking about. Turn the whole assembly. Left arm, right arm flying wedge. Turn, 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 there. That gets me into what's technically called right bend. It gives me my tilts on the way back as well. I've not even had to bother about it. All I've tried to do is keep the connection. And when I keep the connection, or the relationship between the two, it encourages my body to turn. Hogan talked about keeping his elbows close together. That's going to help. That's going to help. As long as you start off at 90 degrees. There, left arm, right arm flying wedge, there. Back down, doing the same thing every time. Doing the same thing. Look how repeatable that is. You know, these are, I'm just going to hit one more actually. Video's done. They're lovely little draws, and I rehearse myself there as I'm going there, really rehearsing it, and then stepped on and just played it because I had the motion. I never did that, then gave myself 30 seconds and then stepped on to hit the shot. I want to hit it as soon as I can. I repeat the motion, so it's a full dress rehearsal, and then hit it as soon as I can. Because I'm now educating myself where I want to go. That is so pure. That's the game changer. That is the game changer. Left arm flying wedge, right arm flying wedge. Not a wedge that gets thrown. That's not a flying wedge. Actually, 7-hour. Guys, thanks for watching. If you click the link in the description below, that'll take you to 𝐬𝐿𝐫𝐿𝐫 golf swing. That allows you to make sure both those flying wedges stay in place. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.